Hello everyone, now welcome to my channel LP EduTech. If you are new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe it. Stay tuned and stay together. We have been learning the lesson last phase of struggle for independence. That is India's struggle for freedom, part 1. In the part 1 we learned standard 8, series standard 8, subject history. So in the part 1 we learned about the Act of 1935 Provincial Cabinets, Cripps Mission, World War and India, Quit India Movement, Quit India Resolution, even beginning of People's Movement, Individual Satyagraha, and the sacrifice of Babu Genu. So, henceforth, now we are going to learn the next part, that is underground movement, underground movements, as well as the establishment of parallel government, Indian National Army, formation of the Indian National Army, achievement of it. So, just stay tuned and stay together. So let us continue with the next part, underground movement. At the end of 1942, the public movement got a new turn. The leadership of this movement went into the hands of young socialist activists Jai Prakash Narayan, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Chotabhau Puranik, Achyutrao Patwardhan, Aruna Asaf Ali, Yusuf Meher Ali, Suchita Kriplani, S.M. Joshi, शिरभोली में N.G. गोरे, यशवंतराव चव्हाण, वसंतदादा पाटिल, मंगललाल बागड़ी, Usha Mehta. Such leaders were in the forefront. That means they were doing their work by remaining underground, not in the public. Secretly they were continue their work. The activists disrupted the transport and communication as well as the government machinery by causing the breakdown of railway routes, cutting off telephone lines, blowing up bridges, etc. So this is Jai Prakash Narayan, the socialist activist. Next, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Yashwantrao Chawhan, Aruna Asaf Ali. So these activists disrupted the transport and communication system as well as the government machinery by causing the breakdown of railway routes, cutting the telephone lines, blowing up the bridges. In this way, they disturbed the system. The impact of movement was seen all over India. Even Hemu Kalani in Sindh province, he tried to destroy the railway along with his companions when he received the news of passing of railway carrying British troops and supplies. The court punished him to be hanged to death. So this is the Hemu Kalani who disturbed the system in Sindh province and troubled Britishers. So he tried to blow the railways carrying British troops and supplies, but at last he was caught and hanged to death. Similarly, Bhai Kotwal's Azad Dasta. So he established the Fauj or the organization called Azad Dasta in Karzat Taluka. Karzat, that is near to Mumbai Panvel, in Karzat Taluka of modern day Raigad district. Now General Awari's Lal Sena in Nagpur. Such groups made the government helpless and witless for months. So this is General Awari's and he established the Lal Sena group in Nagpur. So it made the governments helpless and witless for months. In Mumbai also, Vittal Zaveri, Usha Mehta and her companion established a secret transmission center named Azad Radio. Patriotic songs were sung on it. News of agitations in the country were broadcasted on it. Patriotic speeches were telecasted. So this gave encouragement to the agitators, and such transmission centers operated at Kolkata, Delhi and Pune for some period of time. So that means they started the radio facility and through which they were telecasting the news, bulletins, speeches to keep the encouragement of the people, okay, to make them encourage to participate in more and more number in this freedom movement. So this is the book of Usha Mehta, who was the operating the radio in Mumbai, the radio system, and used to telecast it the different programs and speeches for the freedom fighters. Usha Mehta. Now next point, establishment of parallel government. The parallel government here itself, the word gives us clear meaning. So different government system is established along with the existed one. Now the Britishers were existing and they were ruling their system of government. But those people who did not believe in their system, they started their own government system, running government in their own way for the betterment of people. Let us see. That is called as a parallel government. At some places in country, the British officers were driven out and the people's government was established. It is a people's government. Lok Tantra, Lok Raj. So these are called parallel government. So parallel government were formed in districts of Midnapur in Bengal, Balia in Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh, and Purnia in Bihar. So these three places the parallel government was established. In Satara district of Maharashtra in 1942, Kranti Singh Nana Patil, so this is the pick of Nana Patil, he brought an end to the British government and established parallel government. At Kundal, under the leadership of Kranti Grani GD alias, that is Urf Bapu Lad. Kranti Grani alias Bapu Lad, Tufan Sena was established. So that was the Tufan Sena. It is one of the organizations that was working for the government by Bapu Lad. So through its medium, the collection of taxes, maintenance of law and order, punishment to the criminals, such work was done by the parallel government. So people started accepting the verdict or the judgment passed by the people's court appointed by the parallel government. So people were also believing in such type of government. They were also supporting them. So opposition appointed by the parallel government. Now opposition to money lenders, prohibition on liquor, spread of literacy, opposition to the caste distinction. So many such good constructive work was done by the government. Now due to it, the parallel government became a source of inspiration for the public. Now the next point, importance of Quit India movement. The 1942 movement took up the form of nationwide agitation. So it spread all over the nation, and to fulfill the objectives of gaining independence, lakhs of Indians made unlimited sacrifices. So many sacrificed their own lives. The number of people participating in this struggle was so huge that even all the prisons in the whole of the country were not enough to contain them. So all the prisons in the country were total full, and there was no place to keep the people. So this shows the huge participation of the people in the movement. The patriotic songs composed by Sani Guruji, Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj and others increased the enthusiasm of the agitators. So this nationwide movement is also called August Kranti. So this is the pick of Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj. So he increased the enthusiasm of the people through the pravachans, that is sermons. He addressed the people. He awares the people to create the love for the nation. Even Sani Guruji, he also guided the teacher for the same reason and create the love for the nation and create the enthusiasm among them. So this movement is also called as the August Kranti movement. Next point, Indian National Army, that is Azad Hind Sena. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose took phenomenal efforts for the gaining independence of India. On the eastern borders of India, thousands of Indians stood in readiness to fight against the British. On the eastern side of India. Okay, the thousands of Indians stood in readiness to fight against the British. Now all these soldiers belonged to Azad Hind Sena. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was their leader. Subhash Chandra Bose was an important leader of Indian National Congress. He graced the position of President of Congress twice. That is, 2 times he became the President of the Indian National Congress session. As per his opinion, while England was engaged in Second World War, the Indians should take advantage of it and make the movement more intense. So what he said, as the England was busy in Second World War, which was the period was the 1939 to 1945, the Second World War, as the England was involved in the war. So let us take a chance. So this is a great opportunity for the India to fight against the Britishers, as they are busy in their war with other countries. So India must unite and fight against the Britishers, so that it will be easy for Indians to gain independence. So this is his opinion. Now, if necessary, India should seek the help of enemies of England. Right. So what he said, those who are the enemies of the England, India must get their side, must get their help to gain the freedom from England. But there arose a difference of opinion between him and the senior leaders of Congress. But there were a difference in the opinions. Some were agreed, some were not agreed, so it could not become possible. So as a result, Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from the position of president. Even though he was president, but whatever the proposition he has put forward, no one was accepted it. So he just resigned from the position of a president. Now, to place his views in front of the people, he founded the party known as Forward Bloc. So this is the party, name of the party is Forward Bloc. The party that was formed by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Now through his speeches, Netaji appealed to the Indians to revolt against the British rule. Now due to it, the government imprisoned him. Subhash Chandra Bose went on fast unto death in the prison, due to which the British government interned him in his residence. Even though he was imprisoned, but he was fast unto his death. He was remain on fast, therefore they remove him from the prison and just intern him in his residence. There is kept watch. He just kept him in the residence and by keeping the watch on him. Now from there he escaped in disguise. So he just changed his costumes and he escaped from that place. In April 1941, he reached Germany. There he founded Free India Center. So this is the emblem of the Azad Hind Party. So in April 1941, he reached Germany. There he founded the Free India Center. Now from the Berlin radio station in Germany, he appealed to the Indian people to join in an armed struggle. So he founded his own armed party, that is Azad Hind Sena, Indian National Army he founded. And even in Germany, he also founded the Free India Center. He established the Free India Center, and from the Berlin radio, he was making appeal to the Indian people from the radio to join the struggle, armed struggle of India's freedom struggle, to gain India, to gain the freedom. Now during this period, Ras Behari Bose invited Subhash Chandra Bose to Japan. Now next point, formation of the Indian National Army. Now Ras Bihari Bose, now this is the pic of Ras Bihari Bose, who was staying in Japan since 1915. So he had organized the Indian patriots living in countries of Southeast Asia and and established the organization named Indian Independence League. So Ras Bihari Bose, who was staying in Japan 1952, so he had organized the Indian patriots living in the countries of Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, so those who were living in Southeast Asia, Indian patriots, he collected them, he organized them and formed one organization called Indian Independence League. In the early part of 1942, Japan conquered the territories in Southeast Asia, which were controlled by the British. So in 1942, Japan conquered the territories, the areas, the regions in Southeast Asia, which were controlled by the British. The thousands of Indian soldiers and officers in British Army there fell into the hands of Japan. So there, many Indian soldiers and officers in British Army, those who were serving in British Army, they fell into the hands of Japan. Okay, the Japan caught them. And Ras Bihari Bose, with the help of Captain Mohan Singh, formed a battalion of these Indian prisoners of war, and it was named as Indian National Army, that is Azad Hind Sena. Later, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose led the Indian National Army. So it was established by Ras Bihari Bose and it was led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In October 1943, Netaji established Azad Hind government in Singapore. So it is in Singapore, 1943 of October, Netaji established the Azad Hind government in Singapore. Shah Nawaz Khan, Jagannath Bhosle, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, Guru Bakhsh Singh Dhillon, Prem Kumar Sehgal, etc. were his chief associates. Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan was the commander of Rani of Jhansi regiment. Netaji appealed to the Indian people, "You give me blood and I will give you independence." So this is called as the Azad Hind Sarkar or Azad Hind government. In Singapore he established, and there were some associates, that is Shah Nawaz, Jagannath Bhosle, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan. So this is the pic of Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan. Okay. Rani Swaminathan. Lakshmi Swaminathan was the commander of Rani of Jhansi regiment. So here is her pic. And Netaji appealed to the Indian people, "Now you give me your blood and I will give you the independence." That means if you sacrifice your blood for the India, definitely if you help me in the struggle, I will help you out and I will give you the freedom. Now next point, let us see the achievement of Indian National Army. Now how far they have achieved. In November 1943, Japan conquered Andaman and Nicobar Island and handed them over to Azad Hind government. The Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is lied to the India's right side and the left side to the South India part. Okay, to the southern part of India. Andaman Nicobar Islands, right to the right side, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and handed over to the Azad Hind government. So Netaji renamed them as Shahid and Swaraj respectively. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose changed its name from Andaman Nicobar to Shahid and Swaraj. So this is the Andaman Nicobar Island, and the name is changed from Andaman to Shahid and from Nicobar to Swaraj respectively. In 1944, Indian National Army captured the Arakan province in Myanmar. So this Indian Army reached to the Arakan province, which is in Myanmar country. Now posts on the eastern borders of Assam were captured. Even they reached up to the Assam. Right from the Myanmar they reached up to the Assam. That means they reached to the southeast part of Asia, northeast part of Asia, of the India. Now posts on the eastern borders of the Assams were captured. Now in the same period the campaign of Imphal remained incomplete. But the campaign of Imphal, which is in Manipur, Imphal, the capital of Manipur, but that campaign remained incomplete. That campaign, that means that Mohim, that operation remained incomplete. Now because Japan stopped helping the Indian National Army. Why? Suddenly Japan stopped the help of Indian National Army, therefore so that campaign remained incomplete, winning Imphal. So up to the Imphal they could reach. But in adverse circumstances, soldiers of Indian National Army were dedicatedly fighting. But even though they have stopped the help from the Japan, but the Indian National Army soldiers were fighting rigorously. But in the same period, Japan accepted defeat. Japan accepted defeat in the World War, and on 18 August 1945, Subhash Chandra Bose died in a plane accident. There is one reason why Japan stopped the help of Indians, because respectively 6 August and 9 August, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bomb blast was done. The nuclear bomb were thrown on these two cities, 6 August 1945 and 9 August 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki respectively. So Japan was destroyed and Japan could not help India. So therefore on 18 August 1945, and even on the same time, that is 18 August 1945, Subhash Chandra Bose died in a plane accident. So this is the very unfortunate thing for the Indian National Army. They were reading, it was really in full swing. They were giving their best. They were fighting very vigorously. But unfortunately, in 18 August 1945, the leader Subhash Chandra Bose died in a plane accident, air crash. So therefore, on this background, the soldiers of Indian National Army had to lay down their arms. So they kept down their arms, and thus ended the thrilling phase of Indian National Army, which was in a full swing. It suddenly stopped. But later the British government charged the officers of Indian National Army with a treason. That means they have betrayal with the British government. That is a treason. And Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Bhulabhai Desai, Tej Bahadur Sapre. So these expert lawyers defended them in a court, but the military tribunal held the officers guilty. They found it they are guilty and they are responsible. They done the misdeed. And they were sentenced to life imprisonment. Therefore, there was a severe unrest against the British government in the minds of Indian people. Finally, the British government had to suspend the punishments given by the military tribunal. So all of the people in India became agitated and they started showing demonstrations. So therefore, the Britishers they had to decrease their punishment. They had to suspend the punishments given by the military tribunal. So this is the great contribution of Indian National Army established by Subhash Chandra Bose and Ras Bihari Bose. Now the last point, revolts of Indian Navy and Air Force. The Navy and Air Force soldiers, with the inspiration from Indian National Army, caused discontent against the British government. So, the Navy and Air Force soldiers, those who were Indians, those who were serving in British Army, they got the inspiration from the Indian National Army and they caused the discontent against the Britishers, and that means they were started fighting against the British government for the sake of country. Now it burst out the British warship Talwar in Mumbai on 18 February 1946. So that struggle was burst out on the ship called Talwar in Mumbai on 18 February 1946. The soldiers unfurled the tricolor flag on the British warship. Even though it was the British warship, the Indian soldiers, they got the hold of it and they hoisted the Indian national flag by removing the flag of England. They raised the slogan against British government. The British government sent army to open fire on the naval soldiers. The rebels also made counterattack with the firing. So the rebels also made the counterattack with the firing. The workers and the common people extended their support to the naval soldiers. And the common people also helped to the soldiers. Finally, with the meditation of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the naval soldiers laid down their arms. But at last, even though they were struggling, they were firing against them and fighting against them. But at last they have to sacrifice. They laid down their arms before the Britishers officers. Now, to support the uprising of naval soldiers, the Air Force officers from Delhi, Lahore, Karachi, Ambala, Meerut, etc., they went on strike. So it is just for the sake of support the uprising of naval soldiers. So whatever the things done by the naval soldiers, in order to support them, the Air Force officers from Delhi, Karachi, Lahore, Ambala, Meerut, they also went on strike. These revolts were a clear indication that the sentiments of the discontents against the rulers had reached a climax. So it was an indication that the people have beared a lot, and now it has reached to the climax, and Indians are not going to bear the Britishers henceforth. In this way, the period between 1942 to 1946 shook the foundation of British power in India. Between this means 42 and 46, the British power was moved. Now, through the Quit India movement, the severe discontent of Indian people against the British was expressed. Army, Navy and Air Force was the backbone of British power. They were also now opposing the Britishers. Now, due to these incidents, the British rulers realized that they will not be able to empower India for long period of time. Now, this means whatever the problems, the struggles faced by the Britishers during 1942 to 46, it made them realize that they are going to lose the powers, all the hold on India, because this indication, these struggles, this movement, that was the proof for them, and they understood that, they realized that they will not be able to empower India for a long period of time. So here, in this way, our lesson ends here. If you really like my explanation, please like, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.